Delaware in the building. Y'all ain't ready for the Delaware takeover. Y'all not ready for this unique style and creativity that everybody in the world wants to see. Nas and Jay is bringing it, and everything they bring got that Delaware swag.
Come on. I don't know what. I think it stopped.
As soon. Really? This is how we're starting the show.
I have a very healthy gut.
It's like there's a small, like, lion cub in there right now. Like, I know that.
It's like.
It's really loud, and I know that you guys probably heard that, but hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Happy Women's... I should not say that. You should probably do that. Yeah.
Hold on now. Let me...
You go ahead and talk.
How do you prevent that?
I don't know, but do your intro. Do your intro.
All right. This is ridiculous. It's literally like my stomach is really like, hey y'all, what's up? How you doing?
That's that morning sandwich.
Welcome to your morning sip of local news. What's happening and
that right there was for the record books.
I ate.
When I replay,
I ate.
That was unbelievable.
You need to get it together. I really need you to get it together.
Okay.
Oh, God. Make sure you listen to the replay of this show on Thursdays on WJBSradio.com, Delaware's own grown folks music station. Today, we're going to talk about NCAA women's basketball, dirty Delaware restaurants, and the Marian Anderson at the Kimmel.
Yeah.
Happy Women's History Month! From one bomb History Month to the next.
I just feel like all of the contributions from women, you just can't put it all into 1 month. So why would we have Women's History Month when we should be celebrating women all year? You can't contain women into 1 month. Whew. I am super excited for Women's History Month. Who should be? Are you going to start your honorary?
You go first.
Okay, cool. But I feel like ladies first. But since it's your month, tell me what to do.
Because ladies first.
Yes.
I'm allowed to choose when I want to go.
Absolutely.
So therefore, you're going to go first.
Absolutely. Okay.
And I'm going to go when I want.
No, 100%. I'll eat that 1,000%. Nataki.
We love you.
And we respect you.
Yes.
Nataki is doing everything the right way, in my opinion.
Yes.
She has created her own scene and her own small movement with the soft girls thing. And it's really cool to see.
Which a lot of celebrities are talking about.
And I really respect the fact, and she's open about this, that number one, she has a full-time job.
Yep.
And she uses what she gets from that monetarily to help support what she's building with the Sold Firm. You have a Black woman right in our town who has a micro gallery with awesome art. It's also used as a video, as a venue, and I've shot a music video there. She's creating a small movement of this. What?
You did.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
This whole soft girl movement thing. And the thing that I love about her specifically regarding the soft girl thing is she's also strong.
Yes.
And so in as much as she's embracing her soft femininity, she's a strong person and she works hard and she gets stuff done and she keeps things at a high standard.
Yeah.
Me specifically, I'll say a couple of things. People are embracing my ability to take photos now, my photography. And I said, I made a post on Facebook maybe last week saying that it was wild when I did my when I filed my taxes to find out that I made almost as much money with photography over this past year as I did with my music. And that was the whole conversation. But here's my point in saying that. The first person to ever give me a chance to hire me to use my camera was Nataki. She brought me in and she took a risk, and that she gave me my first official photography gig.
Yeah.
And that speaks to everything that she's been doing. You know, she gives new artists and young artists from children. Yeah, I mean, talk about the Route 9 library thing.
Yeah.
Like she gives upcoming artists a chance to, you know, get good at what they're doing and to learn their craft and to learn the business side of it and to be on display.
Yeah.
And just over this past weekend, and I was half drunk when she was telling me, but over this past weekend, she had a significant event at the Soul Firm. And my understanding is, I'm sure she'll chime in at some point maybe and say more about it, but there is an organization specifically for Black female artists, Black women artists. People get mad when you say female. Black women artists. And I guess like the sort of person who has started that organization, who's like a real bigwig, she pulled up to the Soul Firm and they had a whole event with her speaking at it. And it's a big deal. So I can't say enough. And we do our best to celebrate her, you know, just in all the little things that she does. But I really wanted to make sure that I took a moment as we kick off Women's History Month to honor Nataki for what she's already done and who she already is. Yeah. And, you know, I can't wait for what she will continue to build. And I'll say this for my last thing. I have made it a personal goal, and I've texted her this, that whenever I get to the point where I feel comfortable doing an exhibition of my photography, it will be at the Soul Firm, because
if she like you,
once I've met her standard, and that I say that seriously, once I've met her standard, that's where it's happening first. And that will let me know. Once she's be like, yep, your stuff is good enough to hang in my place, I will have arrived. And I'll leave it there.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my Women's History Month person is the late Iris Apfel. So she was, because she just died on March 1st. She was 102.
Wow. Okay.
102. She was born in I didn't write it down, but she was born, I think it was like 1921.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And she is one of my style icons. Like, when I tell you her hair, her glasses, all of the jewelry, she is known for having one of the largest costume jewelry collections in the country or the world. And she had like this wit to her that
I wish you told me. I'd put a picture up here for her.
Yeah, look her up. Iris Apfel, Apfel. And Jewish woman, lived in New York, like just fabulous. And in my head, when I think about my style, I see a lot of her influence, like the color. She was very much into bold, maximalist fashion.
What's maximalist fashion?
So this would be like baby maximalist, with all the patterns and the colors and the textures and everything.
Okay.
The days where I come in and I have like layers of jewelry and I might have a hat.
I got it. Sorry.
You have a lot of stuff going on, but it just works, you know? And she was catapulted to mainstream in 2005 after the Metropolitan Museum of Art featured an exhibition of her eclectic and colorful wardrobe called Rara Avis, Selections from the Iris Apfel Collection. And according to NPR, at age 97, she became a professional fashion model and modeled for Vogue Italia, Kate Spade, and MAC.
So she was also physically attractive. You know what I'm saying? And she could model. Okay, cool. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
I gotta look this person up.
She so she was born into a family of design. Like I think they designed things early on. So fashion was just her thing. So she literally just passed. I would see her posts. I've been seeing her posts for the last, 2 years. And she literally passed away on March 1st at 102 years old. And she went out fabulously. I already know she did because that was her thing. So yeah, I just wanted to give that information, and I hope that she inspires you like she inspired me.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I had a second quick thought also specifically about Nataki. I'm not going to go into it, but she's proven herself to have my back, and I appreciate that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Flowers. Flowers to our friends and community. Noelle Picara. We love her. Go ahead.
Okay, no, I'm letting you run the month. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Noelle and I were down in Dover. I forget the name of the church, but it was for the Poor People's Campaign, me, Noelle, and Jonathan. And basically, Noelle was left in charge of leading the rally songs for the whole sort of congregation that was there. And she did a great job. And not only that, I haven't heard her sing for a long time, and it was really cool. She did a great job.
More of that, by the way.
Yeah, so
she's a great songwriter.
And I forgot, like, she has this really warm tone.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She's got a warmth to her tone that I really dig. So she started singing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard that sound for a while.
Yeah.
And it was cool. So, flowers to you for doing a great job with the Poor People's Campaign rally in Dover, and we want your voice back.
Yes, we do. I don't know if you know this. I met Noelle when I was like 18.
Mm-hmm.
And I met her. She was in, this was her era where she was basically like dressing up kind of to look not like a zombie, but like harmed.
I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember
she had a whole video.
Yes. Yeah. When I first met her, we were at a gig together at Theater Inn. And I said to her, I was going to the bathroom with my mom, and I looked at her and I said to her, thank you for doing this, because it makes it easier for women who have gone through things to speak up and speak out. You're making it easier. And then shortly after that, she so lovingly did a concert with me where she opened up for me. It was my very first sold out concert at Film Brothers, when it was Film Brothers.
I remember
down
that.
on Lower Market.
Yep.
And she performed. And I've loved her since. So these flowers are definitely well deserved.
I'll dig in a little bit more. So when I moved back to Wilmington, and the very first sort of performance that I did when I came back, it was at an open mic at the Queen, run by Boy Wonder.
Wow.
And I did my songs, and the first person to come up to me was Noelle. And I saw her for the first time perform, and we kind of connected immediately there. It was cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now she's a mother.
Yeah. Oh, that baby's so cute.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Mm-hmm. Okay. Flowers to Sarah Crawford. Go ahead.
And I got to add Sarah. So I should say this. It's actually Sarah and Velvet Poindexter. So they put together another exhibition. It was called Luminescence, and
it was gorgeous. The pictures are dope.
So basically, it was really funny. So Sarah reached out to me and she's like, hey, I want you to take photos for the event. I was like, of course. And my wife was like, did you read the flyer? Because you might want to bring a flash because it's supposed to be dark. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, shoot. You know
what? Shout out to Lisa real quick for being, for paying attention to the details. That's women for you. Okay. That is a woman for you. Listen.
So I hit back Sarah, and I'm like, what's the lighting situation? And she's like, oh, it's glow in the dark black lights. And I'm like, oh my God, that's going to be horrible. I'm not going to be able to manage it. Oh my
God.
So then I'm going to go slightly off track. Then I called Sam. I was like, yeah, what do I do? And he told me what to do. So I walk in, and it's black lights and glow in the dark.
That's what she said. Oh, no. Keep going. Stay focused.
biting my tongue.
Oh God.
And I said to her too, I texted her, I was like, yo, if you wanted to level up this event one more level to take it to where I would take it, be like, tell everybody to come dressed scantily clad. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
And it'd have been a whole small freaknik. Anyway, I digress.
Why are you like this?
So the lighting was really, really cool. Like you had to be in there to kind of experience what it actually looked and felt like. And I did my best with the camera to capture it. But the other thing about it, besides the lighting, and I didn't realize this, again, because I don't read the details, but Velvet's artwork is also, she wants you to literally touch it.
Let me tell you something. My sensory seeking self, child.
So I walk in there and I'm starting to take pictures. And for instance, before I learned, I saw Perry. Perry was there with Shantae.
Okay.
And he's reaching out to touch a picture. And I wanted to be like, bro, we don't do that. Like, you don't touch the art. Who raised you?
Oh my God.
And then I was
Reading
like,
is fundamental.
and then I was like, oh no. It's actually supposed to be touched. And
I tried my best with him, y'all. I really do.
So it was a really cool event. Oh, the bar, like they had watermelon margaritas. The drinks were fantastic. They had full-on food. Like you could eat good. And it was a really eclectic crowd. You had a wide range. And I tried to capture that also in the pictures. But like, it was a dope event. And again, one of the reasons why I refuse to accept people saying that there's nothing to do in Delaware is that was something to do for free. And it was dope. It was legitimately dope. And I am, relatively snotty when it comes to certain things. I'm like, but it was really cool. I had a great time.
One thing I can say about Sarah is she know how to throw an event.
Yeah, she did her thing.
She really does. If y'all need something really to be like popping, she's the one to go.
The event was dope. The art was dope, and also I got to make sure I shout out Jarrell for hosting the conversation. The whole thing was great. So G dash.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Wilmington Library had Misty Copeland. Misty Copeland. Come and do a conversation. It was moderated by Ashley Davis. Why are you laughing?
Because I didn't expect you to bring it up, and I'm glad you did, because I will let you continue and then say what I need to say.
Who owns Pieces of a Dream, who did dance for Misty, which I'm sure 100% was a dream for everyone. So I want to say flowers to everyone involved for putting on an amazing event.
I will double on those flowers. Everything I've read and heard about the event was wonderful.
Oh Lord.
It was great. I made a post on Facebook because I was outside of the event. And facts are facts. There was a giant crowd, number one, of people who weren't able to get in because Misty's so popular. Of course, and the library doesn't have capacity, which is totally fine. And there were certainly little children standing in the windows trying to get in, and some of them were crying. And I felt it was my duty, literally, as someone who works with kids, as a child advocate, and as a photographer, to capture that side of the story. None of that had anything to do with me having any negative sentiment whatsoever about Ashley or the library. They did a great job, and I'm glad that it was able to happen. If I see a little girl crying, trying to get into a library, I have to address that. No one did anything wrong. No one did anything wrong. It's not anyone's fault that it was at capacity. However, nobody likes to see little girls crying outside of libraries because they don't get to see who they want to see. So I made a post saying, hey, we heard you were awesome, literally, and we hope you can come back. And I hope that Misty is able to come back. I hope that the library is able to bring her back. It would be dope if Ashley hosted again. And it would be super cool if the event was just for children, because she has a huge following of children. So I just want to be clear. I I ain't pulling back my post. I didn't, and I won't. I said what I said, and it needed to be said. Like those children deserve to have a voice too, and their perspective deserves to be heard. But the library did a great job, and Ashley did a great job. Flowers to you.
What's going on outside? We going outside. We going outside.
Yeah.
Okay. Wednesday. You gonna pull up my stuff?
Sorry.
What the?
Maybe.
What do I pay you for?
Precisely.
What do I pay you for?
Shut your black mouth.
The Delaware Music Network open mic jam session at the Wilmington Library starts at 6 p.m. this Wednesday. Make sure that you guys head on over. It's free, but they do ask for like a $5 donation. And this goes towards, anything that they have coming up, whether it's to pay for their bands, whether it's to pay for their promotion, whether it's to pay for their artists. You never know. But the donation is definitely helpful.
Can I get those donations?
Oh my God. Then Thursday, jazz series hosted by Ray Jones Avery, featuring artist Sumi Tanuka. Okay. At 7 p.m. at the Delaware Art Museum. Make sure you get your tickets at delart.org. And then Friday at the Queen Theater, live and local, Sharon and Q from 6 to 8:30 p.m. And we love them. We absolutely love them. And look, they had a whole thing. So make sure you guys are following them so you can find out what's going on. Oh, with Wilmington Brew Works, which is right at
right across from the Home Depot on Miller Road,
where Pizzeria Metro is.
Yeah, quietly, that is one of my favorite places to just be, because of the coffee shop and because of the fantastic pizza at Pizzeria Metro. So yeah,
Sleeping Bird, Pizzeria Metro, who also have a there's like a little farmer's market in the back that you can go to. Wilmington Brew Works, and then you can also sometimes Mitch's Mo Better Chicken. The truck is out there, and I don't know if y'all have had it, but baby, go on and get it. And then Saturday, Science Saturdays at Hagley Museum, starting from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. This series continues all year long. Like, they got dates all the way through October. So make sure you guys head on over there. STEM activities. And I don't know if you know this, but STEM is huge for a lot of reasons. And there is a push right now to get young Black women involved in STEM and science, mathematics, engineering. There's a very big push for that. So you can start with things like this if you have young ones, like my 5-year-old, 6-year-old. This is a perfect time to get them involved in these type of things. Like Journey is 10 and she loves math. She loves science and doing experiments and coming up with equations and formulas, all that. So it's a great thing to go to. Yeah. That's what's going on. You can find these on Facebook events. You can filter it down by the week, the weekend, or if you got something you want to figure out what's going on in a month, you can also filter it for that. The referendums have passed.
Yes, and we should give flowers to every single person who got up out of their seat, left their house, and voted so that our children can be in schools that are properly funded.
Yes.
And I think it's actually equally good that Delaware gives us a choice, because I understand, like in Pennsylvania, listen, your taxes just go up and it is what it is. But we have a choice in that matter, and I'm glad to see that we chose to support our kids and also the staff, honestly, at all the schools, because they're already overworked and, in my opinion, underpaid. So, allowing them to expand in any capacity is a good thing. I'm very happy about all of those things, obviously.
Yeah. It was for Red Clay and Colonial.
No, Red Clay, last week, yeah. But all of the districts in Newcastle County passed their referendums, and it's a big deal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, congratulations. the Marian Anderson room in the Kimmel Center?
Yeah, it's actually a short story. I just want to make people aware because I think it's awesome. Marian Anderson is an opera goddess from Philly. Her legacy, we could probably spend the whole show talking about her, you know what I mean? But the Kimmel Center is the premier venue in Philly for like classical music and for jazz and for opera, all that stuff. And the fact that they named their main hall after her is a huge honor that she deserves. And it's really beautiful to see that kind of thing happen. And that's part of the reasons, part of the reason for why I love Philly so much, because Philly's a diverse city, but it's a black city. You know what I'm saying? It really is. Like, I mean, the fact that you have a black woman who is like, that's the opera singer, you know what I'm saying? And in the Kimmel Center as the main hall, it's such a win. So, you know, considering Women's History Month and all those things, it's wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got this from WDEL, but you can also see it on the WilmingtonDE.gov website. Wilmington has opened the second home repair lottery. If you don't know about this, homeowners who fall into income eligibility guidelines are invited to apply for grants up to $10,000. This could cover certain repair costs ranging from roof repair and replacement to HVAC, windows, doors, plumbing, electrical, or lighting. Registration is accepted through Friday, March 15th, and you can find out more information by calling 311 or by going on to the WilmingtonDE.gov website. And they also, if you go to the website, they have the guidelines, like the income guidelines. So like one person versus a family of 7, right? So you can see right off the bat if you are eligible to apply. And this is the second time around. And I think March 19th is when they will be calling off the lottery numbers. So go ahead and put in your application. This is a little a little left field, but I feel like since my best friend is an environmental scientist, I have to talk about this.
Have at it.
So I got this from WDEL. Mistrial declared in Delaware lawsuit blaming landscapers' cancer on use of Roundup weed killer. So a couple of years ago, there was a documentary that came out. I cannot remember it for the life of me. That talked about Monsanto and Roundup weed killer and soybeans and corn, like all this stuff, and GMOs. And you know, right now, everybody's like, I don't want anything with GMOs, along with their gluten-free lifestyle and the veganism and all that. Like there's a rise in that conversation. One of the things that I didn't mean to be shady. I'm just
but
saying,
you couldn't avoid it because it's so deep in your heart that it just came out.
It blossomed.
Along with your lifestyle, vegan.
I just need people to stop following trends and actually do research for their body type, their blood type.
I feel the hornets coming out of the nest.
All right, let me backtrack. Let me move.
You're still recovering from not having to cook all the special food anymore. You still are like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to do that. It just came out. That was deep in your soul. Go ahead, sorry.
So anyway, a Delaware judge declared a mistrial Friday in the latest lawsuit. The jury deliberated for 3 days and could not come to a decision. The lawsuit was filed by the family of Anthony Cloud, a South Carolina man who worked as a landscaper for over a decade and was diagnosed in 2018 with non-Hodgkin lymphoma. His family was seeking $142 million for this lawsuit. The Bayer company that owns Monsanto, because they received so many lawsuits against them, they put aside $10 billion.
Imagine having that much money set aside to have that.
Listen, in 2020 they did this because the lawsuits was like coming around, honey. And they put that $10 billion aside to settle about 125,000 Roundup lawsuits.
Wow.
Yes. And there are still tens of thousands that are remaining, like that are pending, that they haven't even touched yet.
Okay.
The largest payout so far, and this would explain the 142 million request.
Oh, they're going to try to go for that. Okay.
The largest payout so far was in Philly for $2.3 billion.
Wow.
Okay. A man, and this was from a man who had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma after using Roundup for 20 years.
Wow.
So right now there is a federal appeals court. This was back in 22. It was ordered the Environmental Protection Agency to re-examine its 2020 finding that glyphosate,
Oh, I don't know.
the active ingredient in Roundup, did not pose a health risk for people exposed to it. So if you know anything about Monsanto, about Roundup, about the GMO stuff, long story short, it has been found, or at least people have said, that it causes cancer. And it's in almost everything that we consume grain-wise. And a bunch of us have used Roundup weed killer.
No, we've used it here. I try not to, but yeah.
The longer you're exposed to it, the more likely you are to develop these cancers. So, I mean, I get it. It's funny because I try to avoid so much when I'm gardening any type of like hardcore weed killer. I try to find home remedies as much as possible.
No, we do the same thing.
Yeah, because
what do you do? We use vinegar.
Yeah.
And something else.
I use vinegar and dish soap.
Yes, that's the one we use.
I also do.
And it works. It really does work.
Garlic water.
Never tried that.
Yeah, apparently that works. Garlic water. And then of course you can have like animals in your yard to help eat little bugs and stuff. But
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty ignorant about all of this conversation, to be honest, but I will say that we try to not use any kind of heavy chemicals because it's clearly poison. I don't know what else you want me to say.
Right.
So yeah, people shouldn't create poison and spread it all over their yards. A company should be held liable for that.
Right. And the fact that it's still being mass produced and utilized doesn't make any sense to me.
Yep.
But hey, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. So not sure if y'all know this, but there is a link. There is a report that goes out for all the restaurants in Delaware that legally, put their paperwork in, and they get inspected, sometimes randomly, sometimes because of requests or complaints. And then they also get them because it'd be their time. Well, honey, there's a couple restaurants on the list right now that people are upset about because they be going up in there tearing up their food. And I was looking at some of like the different violations. Some of them are like not being clean enough in certain areas where there are open containers, or like dirty fridges, or having like your utensils near stuff that's dirty and things like that. It would behoove you to go and look, because there are a couple places that people frequent that are on that list.
Hey, I'm gonna give you some fake science. All right.
What?
I'm gonna give you some fake science.
Okay.
As a child,
oh God,
who spent a significant amount of his 20s at the Golden Dove, at all hours of the night.
I did that in my 20s too.
Consuming all of the things.
Yep.
As a young person who went to school in the ATL and went to, I'm not going to name the place, a late night spot, and Waffle House over and over and over and over again at 3 a.m.
I did not.
And as someone who is pretty dang healthy right now and has a reasonable immune system, I'm here to tell you that you need to go to these kinds of places.
Oh my God.
Because it'll build up your immune system.
It'll build y'all immunities.
So
it'll hike up the immunity.
The only reason, see, I'm gonna tie this all in, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
The reason that you people are getting food sickness from places like the Golden Dove or whatever else may be on the list that may not be on the list is because you don't go enough. You are trying to eat these super clean diets and eat everything perfect, so when something ugly hits your stomach, it can't manage. But I, sir, am half possum, half raccoon. So I can basically take my trash panda ass into the garbage and eat almost trash. And guess what? Guess who's going to survive the zombie apocalypse? Not you soft MFers. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what.
I can eat anything.
This is an ongoing battle in my mind of the zombie apocalypse because I am so bougie. I'm so bougie.
Listen.
I think I'm going to be one of the... Number one, I can't fight. Number two, I don't work out, so running is going to be limited. I don't know how to shoot a gun or like chop correctly. Like I can...
But you can go to Golden Dove and have some pancakes.
I can, but me and my bathroom going to have a long
But
talk.
you just got to... This is not science. You just got to go there for 2 months, and then you eventually... Your stomach the good bacteria will meet with the bad bacterias, and then you get the fix, and you can eat anything from that point on. You know what I'm saying?
I cannot. I'm gonna put. Hold on. I'm gonna put the link in the comments if you want
to know the actual places. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't make this up. This is a fact.
And I didn't want to name nobody.
Nope.
Because that ain't my job.
Listen. Go to your local. Whoever's the number one offender on this list. Go there
today.
Eat everything, and when the zombie apocalypse happens, you will basically be able to function like a vulture. You'll be able to eat things off of the side of the road. You might be immune to
the zombie virus. You never know. So here's the thing. The highest one, I think, the one that had the highest violations was like maybe 7 or 8. That's the number of violations.
Go there now. Eat.
There have been past restaurants that had upwards of 25 violations.
If I were governor of Delaware, I would create a program that basically makes it mandatory that you eat at high violation restaurants so that when the apocalypse happens, we are prepared to survive it.
Just y'all friend. Just y'all friend. I just be around him sometimes. All right, moving on. So kudos to me because I listen to NPR like a lot.
I should say that there are many things about you that I don't like at all.
Not during Women's History Month, you're not about to say that.
But a saving grace to all of those extreme negatives are the fact that you watch and listen to NPR. I respect that about you.
Often. And I really be listening like, ooh, like, I'll be reacting like I know what the hell I'm talking about over here. So, I don't know if y'all know, but my youngest sister, Tori, played basketball in college. She got a scholarship. And basketball was her thing all through high school and in college. That was her thing. And she still loves it today. So I was listening to NPR and I heard about Caitlin Clark, who has become the NCAA basketball's all-time top scorer and breaks Pistol Pete Maravich's record. So the Iowa Hawkeye star went into Sunday's game against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Sorry. My phone is cracked, so I'm trying to read through the cracks. Okay, this was screen protector.
Okay,
we good. So yeah, Iowa Hawkeyes played against Ohio State Buckeyes, needing 18 points to break Pistol Pete's record of 3,667 career points, which stood for more than 50 years.
I love it.
She beat it.
Yeah, respect. Women's History Month.
Crazy. So she's not only the top scorer in the women's. This is overall for women and men.
I respect it.
With a total record of 3,685 points. And the thing is, when she made it, like when she beat it, she didn't even realize that she beat it. She was like in the game.
Focused.
Right. So it was after during like the press part where she was like, wow, like, oh snap, I didn't even this crazy.
I love it.
I think that's amazing. So I called my sister this morning.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
I said, hey sis. And she was like, what's up? And I was like, so I heard about the girl in the basketball team who broke the record. She was like, what? Mm-hmm. She was so surprised. And I was like, I just want to call you and talk basketball with you because now I'm known. Like I know now. I be knowing. So I just want to put that out there.
I love it. Truly.
Not just sports facts.
Oh my.
Okay. I'm sure y'all have seen the posts. Rihanna got paid. Now this is a little conflicting because I saw 6 million and then I saw 9 million. Either way, an Indian family flew her out to perform at their wedding and paid her $6 or $9 million. And she went out there, did her thing, took pictures with the homies, and walked away $9 or $6 million richer at a wedding. Like, number one,
I've always said that weddings pay well.
There are levels to this, okay? Yeah. Number one, Rihanna don't just be performing at anywhere, okay? We got her for the Super Bowl, and that was it. She hasn't really been doing anything musically, but and that's
everybody
fine.
Has their price, respectfully.
But then there is a family wealthy enough and somehow able to contact her people and say, "Hey, yo,
if you're a billionaire, you
come on through. I got you." Can you imagine?
Put that right in the baby fund.
Can you imagine being able to afford Rihanna to give you a full concert with background dancers, with like a full-on show, like a concert for your wedding?
Yeah,
and this is just the start of their life together. Like, they ain't even been together long enough to even really understand what they just did.
Well, and at least they have good memories.
I know, right? Listen, because she partied. She partied when she was out there. So yeah, the names of the people are Anant Ambani and Radhika Merchant Jamnagar.
I'm not even gonna try. I want to make sure that one story you talked about regarding the person who you follow who has different political. Are we gonna do that? Get there?
Oh, Iris?
Yeah.
So before we got on camera, I was talking to Jay about, I was conflicted about honoring Iris as my Women History Month pick. And I did that because although I followed her, because she's passed now, I'm trying to figure out how does this work.
Yeah.
Although I follow her fashion legacy, as somebody who prides herself in, like, when I'm writing songs, the lyrics have to make sense. And if I'm writing something and it doesn't make sense, for me, it's not right. Like, I want people who read or listen to my music to know that I did my due diligence in making sure that I'm giving you something that's factual or something that makes sense. So I do the same thing when I'm reporting on people, or when I'm talking about people, or when I'm putting people on a pedestal. I don't want to highlight people who are terrible people. So I started digging a little bit, and I did find some things, although it was hard because it was everything was about fashion. There were a few things that popped up about her talking really badly about President Obama, and then supporting Trump, like completely supporting him. So I was like, do I really want to talk about her, in this way, when her political views, which she didn't even like talking about. That was the other thing. She made it very clear she doesn't like talking about politics or religion or any of those things because of like what it can cause. But the fact that was out there, it bothered me because y'all know how I am and what I believe in and what I stand for. And it was concerning to me, like, do I want to put someone on a pedestal that has these conflicting views that I have of what I have? And Jay wanted to talk about it on the show. So
I think it's really important, especially as we go into the general election, to remember that just because someone doesn't think like you do, that could be about religion, but obviously politically, that doesn't mean they're a bad person necessarily. And I say that, number one, coming from the perspective of someone who has a very best friend who is a brother to me.
I thought about that too.
He is my brother. He has been as good of a friend as you could possibly be to me. He didn't vote for Obama. He never got ridiculous and got a red hat, because then I'm gonna punch him in the head as my brother. But he definitely supports Trump. And I want to rake his eyes out. I want to punch him in the head as a friend, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like, what are you, stupid? But he's a good person and a good man. He's a great dad. And I think it's really important to remember that. Are there some people who vote for Trump who are horrible people? Yes. Yes, absolutely. But we both know some horrible people who vote for Biden. And it's just two separate things, okay? Would I ever vote for Trump? No, I think he's a horrible person. And I would never vote for him. But I also have a lot of concerns about Biden. But I think it's really important to be careful about how quickly you judge someone based off of one criteria and who they vote for, because it's just fundamentally, I don't care how you slice it, it is possible that you can vote different from me and have different political beliefs and still be a good person. And I might vehemently disagree with you. But if you walk into a situation automatically being like, oh, this person voted for so-and-so, so I can't be friends with him, it's wrong.
Yeah.
So maybe the person is a horrible person. I don't know. But to be like, oh, she supports Trump, so boom, you're dead to me. No.
So here's the thing. I am, and I'm learning, I am an ever evolving woman, right?
As you should be.
As we all should be. We all should be ever evolving. And something I realized that I had a very all in or all out mindset for a long time. And it's been a journey to really dig deep, because as a child or as a teenager, you can be like that.
Yes.
Nothing matters really, because you're being taken care of for the most part. And you don't really have much say in the world until you can vote, until you can, get a line of credit, until you have to find your own apartment, until you have to get a job and pay bills. So for a long time, that's how I maneuvered. But as I've gotten older, I realized that the world is always going to have people who are support this or live like that or want to live here or think poorly on this. And if I completely remove those people from my life, I'm going to be a very lonely person, because no one's going to be exactly like me. No one's going to think exactly like me, support the exact same things as me. And a great example of that, a very good friend of mine. I mean, we were on the phone every day, damn near. We're both mothers, both Black women, both married, and we have very strong opposite opinions on abortion.
Yeah.
And, but for a while that plagued me. Like, it really bothered me. But then there was a point where I was like, listen, that's my homegirl. I love her.
Yeah. And I'm going to go, let's just go all the way in. I don't care, because I think it's actually really important. My sister-in-law, she is one of the most genuinely sweet, kind, thoughtful, even like just a wonderful human being. Like, I will box you over my sister-in-law. She is a sweet human. And I know she votes for Trump, and she'll tell you. It's you cannot put the, especially now where, and this isn't like the most important thing on my brain, but you think about what's going on specifically, and I'll open it up, I don't care, in Gaza, in Israel, Palestine. The idea that you would hate someone just because of their religion, automatically, you're Jewish, I can't stand you. That fundamental, or you're, Muslim, I can't stand you. You're Christian, I can't stand you. You're Protestant, I can't stand you. You're Republican, I can't stand you. That fundamental laziness in terms of not wanting and being able to dig deeper and think about the actual person is a problem, because it makes it easy to hate somebody.
Why is that so easy? Why is it so much easier to immediately hate people?
Yeah, and
that if anything has been because on social media, that's where you see it the most.
Yes, and so as we move into election season, and you have too many people being like, "Oh, civil war, come on, and you know what I mean?" Well, that's because you're setting it up this way. I'm not gonna go to war with my best friend. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at it from that level, yo, we really disagree here, but I'm not gonna become violent about it. And there is a place where it goes too far. Like if Trump is like starting saying like I want slavery back and only for specifically long.
Then we gonna fight.
Like now, like bro, you can't vote for that. You know what I'm saying? But right now, from his perspective, and this is really important, and you can say his politics are wrong or he doesn't know enough about politics or the business side of politics, but this is his fundamental thinking, and I'm pretty sure I'm accurate in saying this. And this is why it's not so ding dang simple. I'm sure, and he said this, that the main reason, and I think he's wrong, that he votes for Trump is because he's a business guy and he wants to vote for someone who's going to like give him low taxes and make it easier to run his business. Now,
that's loaded.
But it's not. And this is why. This is why it's not loaded. Him and his business employs about 300 people, many of whom look like me, many of whom are Spanish speaking, Puerto Rican, who need their jobs and who have good jobs working there. Doctors who are brown too. He's thinking about his family and his employees, and he cares about his employees. So in as much as, and again, I think he's wrong, but he's thinking like, I'm trying to make sure I can keep my business going so that I can keep these people employed, not just to feed himself, but so that I know for a fact that he cares about his employees. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as simple as, oh, you're stupid, you vote for Trump, you're evil, and now you're not my friend anymore. Like, no, it's even if his logic is ultimately wrong, don't forget what he's actually trying to do. And that's not just him. I'm just using him as an example, but I know personally, because I'm sure there are a lot more people like him who are like not horrible people, but who maybe have sifted through the information and reached a different conclusion, maybe incorrectly. But the idea that you should fundamentally be like, I hate you is stupid and lazy.
So, although I found those things about Iris that I didn't agree with, I don't hate her. It doesn't change my perspective on her style and how it has influenced mine. So I think this is a great example of, we need to dig a little bit deeper than what is just surface level. Like, you having a disagreement with someone doesn't mean that that person is a terrible person, and doesn't mean that you're a terrible person if they don't agree with you.
Oh my gosh, you eat meat?
Right.
Do you know what happens? Do you know?
We have to do better. We have to do better as a society on so many levels.
How could you eat that? Did you read the article about?
And on top of that, he said this, and I didn't want to talk about this because we're not a political show. God, and in no way, shape, or form do I know really much of anything about politics. But child, this is an election year, even down to the local level. And Wilmingtonians, I need y'all to do your research. I need y'all to dig a bit deeper. We're switching lanes now. Now we're going into
You're gonna open up. I bit my tongue enough.
I need y'all.
Ooh-wee.
I need y'all. We have a fight coming up in Wilmington for elections, and I need you guys to
not vote in a popularity contest.
We have so many clout chasers in this city. I'm gonna just call it out. We have so many clout chasers in this city. Now, there's a difference between people. They're
in every city.
Yes, but I'm talking about the one I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who, like Jay and I, like Jarrell, like Hanif, who have shows that highlight the city because it is needed. We are not clout chasers. There are people who have shows.
I kind of like it when you're mad at me.
Or who are a show, who are clout chasers. And I'm going to tell you right now, the way that these people carry themselves is going to seem so beautiful for the next however months until our election. I need y'all to see past the shiny things that are put in front of you and start digging into the archives and really doing your research on who you plan on voting for and standing by and supporting.
If they stole 10 years ago, they're probably steal again.
If they're lying then, they're going to lie now. And for some reason, there are people out here who run for office like it's a popularity contest. our city deserves better. So when you're thinking about running for our city, think about the kids who don't get what they need education-wise. Think about the programs that need to be put in place to keep our boys off the street and keep the guns out of their hands. Think about police reform so we can start investigating the police officers who ain't shit and haven't been shit and need to be, reprimanded properly. And we need access to those reports. We need somebody who's actually going to go in there and do the work and elect the people around them who are going to do the work. And not go up in there with false pretenses, with plans to do things under the radar. Like, I'm tired of it. So do your research and call people out.
I don't know if you're going to start calling people out.
Not yet, but trust me, it's coming. Because I'm tired of it. Our city deserves better. And this goes for all cities. This goes for the state. I mean, yeah, we can talk about Trump. We can talk about Biden. We can talk about all these people. But what's going on in our city? There was a death over the weekend from a physical altercation. Not from a gun. I'm sure there was a shooting too, but there was a physical altercation where someone died. Like, I need us to do better. So stop highlighting people or pushing people up just because they're your friend, or just because they promised you a position, or they promised you some type of money, or promised you some type of post or something. Do things, vote for the people who are doing the things that need to be done and who are explicit and loud about it. Shanae Darby is loud.
Medina.
Loud.
Love you, baby.
Those are the type of people we need fighting for us, not just our babies, although they are of the utmost importance, also for us, for the homeowners in the city of Wilmington, for the renters in the city of Wilmington, for the people who are in the poverty line, under the poverty line, who are struggling, who need aid. We need people who are going to care about them, who are going to start paying attention to all of the developers who are only catering their prices to the people who are not from the city or who can afford a certain amount, and leaving the people who can't afford that by the wayside, living in the slums. We need people who are going to care about the slums. There's a whole movement going on for East Side. Richard and Shaw, thank you for what you guys are doing. And thank you to everyone else who are a part of doing the same thing. We have so many needs in this city. Elect the people who truly care and who have shown and proven that they are here to do the work and not showing up for a photo op. It's ridiculous. I'm done.
Where that came from.
I'm done.
But I'm glad it
needed to be said. It needed to be said. It needed to be said. So there you go.
That was totally impromptu.
I'm sorry.
I support that wholeheartedly.
It's the lipstick.
Okay.
It's the lipstick.
Cool. I don't want no smoke. Women's History Month. There it is.
Okay. I need them. Pew.
Nasty Naj in the building. Oh man. It got
just
gully.
want to put that out there. I done seen some things.
Child cut her hair. This nasty Naj now.
Ain't no hiding behind my afro.
She got the lipstick on. You're about to get it today. Not no more. I ain't playing.
But seriously, it's important. As me and Jay are in a position where people love talking to us, and people sometimes even look to us for information or for truth telling. And we're not afraid to do that. So I wouldn't feel right being Naj and Jay, being Naj and Nicole, being a mother by not speaking the truth.
Since we're here, my voice got super high
Yes,
there.
it did.
I don't know why. I want to be clear, because now I'm just being petty.
Don't be petty. Don't be petty.
When I know that I have done no wrong and you get mad at me, all I do is snicker.
Oh my God.
And I'll leave it at that.
That's him.
You know what used to drive my brother crazy?
What?
And I would do it on purpose. And it was me being mean. But like when he would get really mad at me, I would just start laughing. You know what I'm saying? It still happens.
I hate when people laugh at me when I'm angry.
Yeah, I'll be like,
or laugh not at me, but are just snickering and laughing. Like, if I could fight, that would be the time where I'll start fighting.
Mm-hmm. So,
all right. Have a wonderful week.
Love y'all. Happy Women's History Month.
Watching.
Yo, get outside. Beautiful weather.
Yes, it is.
Bam, 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 bam. Nasty Nodge in the building.
Oh my God. Stop saying